Welcome to Sketchbook 101. So you learn a bit of orientation of this Sketchbook app. So once you access your iPad, you look for this icon. There's a little pencil and an orange background. So when you tap on it, you will see a so-called interface like this: left hand side, top, right hand side. Okay. Now what you do is to first of select the new sketch. You want to set the resolution to the screen resolution of your iPad. So your interface may look somewhat different from mine, but it's okay as long as you are able to look for screen resolution. If you're unsure, you ask the teacher for help. So for example, the screen resolution is over here. Now for my interface, it allows for quick portrait drawing or landscape. Okay, so I'm just going to select this. So what we have here is I'm going to start a sketch. Alright, so that's why I discard the previous image. When you pinch with your thumb and index finger, you can see what size your canvas is. So the white background is called the canvas. Normally it is actually stretched right to the edges of your screen, so you do not know how big your canvas is. So when you pinch it a little bit, you can see the border. Alright, so that gives you a bit of relative proportionate size. On the left hand side, right, you will see what we call the menu. So typically what you do is you can actually select your choice of so-called library. Alright, so over here you can select different types of drawing tools with the same Apple Pencil. So I will recommend that you go for Legacy, and then you can select this by tapping on the pin here. So what you do is when you tap on it, it stays the Legacy library of drawing tools are here. Okay, so for example, you have the pencil. Alright, so you can adjust the hardness and the size of the pencil. Opacity is how opaque an object is. That means you can't see through, and a bit more transparent, and then until 0, or there's no 0, there's 1%. Alright, so it's very light. And we have airbrush type, we have marker line, and we have this special chisel tip pen, alright, which allows you to draw slant lines and so on. So what is good is you explore, and for example, you try this drawing. Okay, well, how does it look like? Okay, so of course if you don't want this, you can always undo at the top. Right, so these are tools that you may already know. A little bit about this thing. This is called a pug. Alright, P-U-G. Now how do you call this out? There's a little circle at the bottom center here if you look closely. Alright, when you tap on it, you have some quick tools selection. So this is the one. When you tap on it, if it's already here, you tap on it, it disappears. Alright, makes your canvas cleaner. This one, actually you call it out again. Okay, so over here when you tap, there's a dropper tool to select the exact color tone, alright, that you wish. And of course we also have this is called the transparency tool. So when you use a combination of tools to select an object, the rest, like for example the background, you can make it transparent, so that the selected object can be superimposed, which is a layer on top of whatever else you have, as if it's only on one layer. Okay, so let me just set it to this. Okay, so a little bit about the right hand side. Okay, the right hand side, actually you see by default there are like 1, 2, 3 layers. Okay, these first two are default, so we actually use this to make the background of certain object transparent. So we will not do that now. You will see that this is your first layer. First layer, you see there's a little eye here. Alright, when you tap on it, it becomes slash, means this layer is hidden. You can't see the layer, but it's there. Okay, so when you tap on it, it's reviewed. Okay, and then you see a little lock here. So when you tap on it, you can see that the lock is locked. Okay, and then you unlock it. So what this thing does is, when you have drawn something on this layer, you don't want to edit anymore, because that becomes your reference object or whatever. So you lock it so that you don't accidentally edit, change color, or erase that layer. Alright, and of course when you unlock it, it allows you to edit that layer. This plus sign is to allow you to add layers. Okay, so the earliest layer will be at the bottom, the newest layer will be on top. So when you select the layers, for example, when you tap on it, all right, you can see that it's highlighted in blue, so it means that you're working on this layer. If you tap on here, this is the newest layer on top, so this is where you whatever you draw here will be, you'll be working on it. Now if you want to move the bottom layer on top of the another layer, you just tap and hold, and then you slide it up, okay, and then you let go. So the bottom layer now becomes on top. Now just now you notice that when I tap, there's quick selection tools. You can so-called from the gallery, all right, copy an image and then you can paste, you know. These are usual tools here, all right. So when there's time, then you can explore. So the top area will be where we will be talking next, just to show you some features of the Sketchbook app. So this ends the quick introduction.